here. I was just live on TikTok, but I came to YouTube because I can't drive on live when I'm on TikTok. They will ban your whole live if you on live while you on TikTok. So I'm like, okay, I'm already building over here on YouTube, so let me just come over here and go live. But I wanted to come on here and talk about pretty much the same thing that I was talking about over there. How we got to start making the best of our time, the time that we have, in the place that we so badly dread, like the place that we don't want to be in. We got to start making the best out of it. You won't always be in that place. You won't always be in that position, in that, place of employment, the environment around toxic people. You might be around toxic family members. You might be around toxic friends. You might be at a toxic job. You might be in a, narcissistic, toxic relationship. Whatever it is, you won't always be there, and there's something for you to learn in that environment. It's something for you to learn in the environment. Okay, you want to get out of it. You want it to end. You want to just be done with it, and you tired of it. But rather than complaining about where you at, rather than dreading every day when you wake up, dreading it. Oh, I can't stand this job. I can't stand where I'm at. I'll be glad when I move. I'll be glad when I get out of this place. I'll be glad when I do such and such. Listen, you got to start putting in the work right now to become the person that God created you to be. If you're in a toxic situation, let's just do a toxic relationship, for example, because something that I've been through, and so I could teach from this standpoint. But if you're in a toxic relationship that you're trying to get out of, and you know that there's better, you deserve better, and you're settling for less, like if you are aware of that, you got to stay aware, and you got to become more aware, because God is revealing to you the things that you've been overlooking the whole time. He's revealing to you that, hey, you ain't supposed to be in this relationship. You chose this relationship. You settled for this. I didn't give this to you, but I allowed it because I gave you free will to make your own choices, to make your own decisions, to do what it is that you want to do in life. And you get to choose. We get the choice, and you choose to go in that direction. But I'm still here with my hands out. I'm still here with my arms wide open, ready to welcome you back home. That's just what God does. Like, He gives us free will to make our own decisions. And if you want to settle for less than what you deserve, then you settle for less, and you got to face the consequences of your own actions. When you start facing the consequences of your own actions and going through hell and high water, being with this person that you ain't supposed to be with, that's God revealing to you that, hey, you ain't supposed to be here. I didn't put this person in your life. I allowed it, but I didn't send you this man. I didn't send you this woman. But guess what? The enemy sends us blessings too. The enemy sends us stuff too. So when the enemy sends us somebody, listen, I can't read the comments. So if y'all down there acting crazy, then I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, but God gives us free will, and we make the choice to settle. We literally say, okay, I'm gonna settle right here. No, God like, oh, what you doing, daughter? What you doing, son? Get back over here. But understand that you being shown the red flags for a reason. Your eyes have to be open. If you see a red flag, if you see something that is not okay, if you are dealing with cheating, being lied to, somebody might be putting their hands on you, they might be financially abusing you, whatever they doing, ask God why He's showing you that. He gonna let you know. He gonna let you know why He's showing it to you. All right. But you got to be wise enough to know that you got to believe that there's somebody that will treat you with the utmost respect. Sorry, move your legs. You got to believe that there is something greater for you, and you don't have to settle. Believe that. When you start believing that and moving off of that, you won't just settle for anything. See, you were in a desperate situation when you settled for that relationship with that toxic narcissistic man. You were desperate. You were vulnerable. There was a place inside of you, a place within you that was voided, that you hadn't surrendered to God yet. You didn't give that part of you to God. And so you were willing to settle for a bummy man that could fill just that area, but it's toxic in all the other areas. And you overlook the other areas just to fulfill that void, just to fill that void that you had in you, rather than submitting it to God and seeing that, hey, this person ain't even no good for me. I'm not finna settle for this. Because when you surrender to God, God fills all your voids, right? He fills all your voids, all your empty spaces, everything in you that you were craving, that you were desiring. He provides it for you. He gives it to you. The love, the attention, the affection, the everything. He gives it to you, right? And you have to understand that God's provision is sufficient enough. That loneliness that you're feeling, that's the enemy playing in your face. He wants you to make you think you're lonely. But you're not alone. There are people out there that's self-developing, that's doing the work on themselves, that's trying to get out of them toxic relationships, that's trying to, better themselves. It's people out there, so you're not alone. But the enemy gonna make you think you alone. He gonna make you think you need somebody in your life, so he gonna send you somebody that makes you feel good, that fulfills your flesh, and doesn't feed your spirit at all. Once you feed your spirit and give yourself completely to God, you're gonna start to see that, oh wow, I'm settling. How did I get here? How did I even let this person in my life? Like, they don't even deserve to be in my life. Who let you in? I've been in that situation. I'm telling y'all from my own experience. My recent divorce, I literally, when I started doing the work on myself, self-developing and building my relationship with God while I was in that relationship. And I didn't want to be there, and I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. So I started doing the work on myself. And I started to see, I looked up one day and I was just like, how did I let you in how did you get here? You get to a point where you just like, how did you get in my life? Who let you in here? The enemy creeps his way in. He tiptoes his way in subtly, in a subtle way. He does it so smooth, man. When I tell you the enemy is so crafty, and he gonna come in your life and wreak havoc, tear you down. He gonna chew you up and spit you out multiple times as long as you let him. But listen to me when I tell you that there's something that you need to learn in this situation that you're in this environment that you're in that toxic relationship that you're in. You got to learn something. God trying to teach you something. He's trying to open your eyes to something. More things are being revealed to you. But you got to seek God for that stuff to be revealed. You got to seek God to see what it is. What is it that you're trying to reveal to me? What is it that you want me to learn? Can you give me the wisdom out of this situation? I don't want to be here no more. So I need you to show me what it is that you're trying to teach me, God. I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to keep doing this. I'm exhausted. I'm depleted at the end of the day. I don't have no energy to pour into my kids, to pour into my business, to pour into myself. I don't have it. So I need you. And what God is going to do is he's going to have you pull back from giving so much of your time and energy to that thing. You might be at a job that you don't want to be at. Okay? Stop giving so much of your energy to it. Do the bare minimum. Do whatever you getting paid for. Stop doing extra stuff. You ain't got to do all that. Because if you're trying to pour into your business, you better pour into that thing. You got to have the energy to pour into it after work, before work. While you working, listen to podcasts, listen to videos that are gonna, audiobooks that are gonna help you to self-develop, to get rid of your old ways, to become the best version of yourself, to raise your consciousness, your awareness. Because once you start doing the work on yourself and the light starts shining within you, you start building your relationship with God, the light is literally going to radiate off of you onto other things that is in your life. And you're going to start to see people true colors for real. And you ain't going to be able to unsee it. The things that God show you, you can't unsee that. You can't unsee it. I don't care how many times you go back. You keep on going back, you're going to see more and more. And you ain't going to be able to unsee it. And one day you just going to be like, yeah, I can't do this no more. That's enough. That's enough. I don't need to see no more. Because you're going to be awake now to see that, oh, this person was supposed to be in my life in the first place. You didn't waste your time. Don't say that either. Don't say nothing like, I wasted my time. I wasted all these years with this person. No, God just had to wake you up. You got with that person because you weren't knowledgeable. You didn't have the wisdom. You didn't have the discernment. You didn't have God's perspective. You couldn't see it. You were asleep in the spirit until God woke you up. God can't wake you up if you keep on doing the same thing over and over again, going your own way. But eventually you're going to get tired. Eventually you're going to say, okay, I need God for real. I got, like, God, I need you. I need you to show me me. I need you to show me what it is that I'm missing. I need you to show me why I keep going through hell and back with this person. I need to show you why we keep bumping heads. Who did you send this person in my life? Start asking questions, man. You ain't gotta settle for just because you in a toxic situation. You don't gotta settle for that. You just settle for it. You just put a period at the end of it. No, you better start questioning it. You better start questioning why you where you at. You better start questioning what it is that you need to learn in that situation that you're in. Why am I here? What am I missing? Because it's something in you that knows that is more to life, that knows that you deserve something better. And you can't reach that level of something better until you start seeking God. Until you start looking within. You got to look within yourself. Go within. What is it that you want to work on within yourself? What is it that you want your life to look like? Do you have a vision for your life? Do you have anything that you want to accomplish? Do you have any goals? If you don't, then the enemy can finna run your life. I made a video about that on TikTok. I haven't posted it yet. I made it this morning. You got to set the standard for your life. If you don't set the standard for your life, then the enemy finna tell you which way you finna go. The enemy finna tell you what to do. The enemy finna run your life. He gonna be in control. He gonna send people in your life to have control over you. And you gonna give your power to that person. You gonna give control to them. You gonna let them control you because you ain't got no standards set for your life. You ain't got no boundaries. You don't know who you truly are. You don't know your worth. You don't know your value. And so that person gonna come in your life and they're gonna be the ones in control. They're gonna be your God. You're gonna idolize them because of what they can give you, because they fulfill that area, that void in your life. You're gonna idolize that person, and you're gonna get stuck in that toxic cycle that the enemy done had you in all your life. You cannot escape the toxic cycle without God's help, without reading the word of God, without getting the knowledge. You better read books about what you're going. Any narcissistic relationship, toxic situation, you can't get out. You might think you're out, but if you don't seek genuine healing through your relationship with God, if you don't seek God for real, like 100%, not no play, lukewarm type stuff, not no religious stuff. No, we're talking about a relationship. A relationship. There's a difference between religion and relationship. If you don't seek God 100%, guess what? You're going to meet another man and you're going to think that he is all that in a bag of chips, and later on down the line, that mask is going to fall off his face and you're going to see him for the true devil that he is. And you're going to understand that the enemy done got you trapped in another cycle. The same cycle that he been had you in because you didn't seek God. Because you're idolizing marriage, because you're idolizing relationship, you're idolizing things outside of you. Nobody's your idol. Nothing is your idol. You should be worshiping and giving glory to God, the one and only true and living God. You got to give yourself to him. Let him prune you. Let him shape you and mold you into the person that he created you to be. Because the person that you are now that's been attracting these men, that's the person that your parents raised you to be. That's the person that your caregivers or whoever raised you, that's the person you were raised to become. God created you. When you first came into this world, you were already the person that God created you to be, right? But as you went through childhood, younger who played a main part in your life, you got a lot of everybody's traits. You got a lot of everybody's personality traits. You might be angry like your mama or your granddaddy or your daddy or something. You might be reactive, like highly reactive. You might be you probably develop a lying habit where you never tell the truth. You have to lie and to cover up things. Like I don't know, whatever. God didn't give you this stuff. You're not the person he created you to be. You became somebody totally different. But that person that he created you to be is still there. That person is still there. That's why you know that there's something more to life. That's why you know that you deserve more. That's your higher self. That's the person that God created you to be. Inside of you that's wanting to come out, but you keep going back. You keep going back to that toxic relationship, back to those toxic family members, back to those old jobs, back to that old friend. Y'all done fell out plenty of times. You keep going backwards. When you go backwards, you fall back into comfort and familiarity, and that's where the enemy loves to keep you. He wants us to think that unfamiliar is not where we listen to me when I tell you that you grow. That is where growth happens. That's where maturity happens. That's where leveling up happens. Elevation happens in the unknown. When you step into the unknown, when you step into something that I don't know what's going to happen next, when you step into that, that's when God show up and show out. That's when God do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ever ask, think, or imagine. That's when you grow. That's when you spiritually mature. That's when you meet the right people. That's when doors and opportunities open up for you because you stepped into the unknown. You just stepped into a room that you ain't never been in. Oh my goodness, I've never been here before. Like, what do I do next, God? Where do I go next? Like, God is the only one that you can rely on, because you cannot understand what it is that God is wanting to do in your life. You can't understand it from your own level of understanding. We have a limited perspective, a limited viewpoint, right? And so we need God to stretch us, to stretch our capacity, to give us the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, to help us to understand his word, to see the parts of us that he didn't give us, to see the tactics of the enemy and how the enemy has kept us stuck for so long, to see the people that are in our lives that are not supposed to be. We need God for that. And if you don't rely on him, who you gonna rely on? If you don't rely on God to give you what it is that you need, you gonna keep reverting back to comfort. Every time you step into the unknown, something pulling you back, something like, nah, come back to comfort, y'all. But if you want to walk in your purpose, if you want to walk in your, and what it is that God is telling you, and what it is that God is telling you to walk in, you got to seek him. You got to walk by faith. And walking by faith looks like holding on to the vision that he's giving you for your life. Working towards those goals, setting the standard for your life. If you don't set the standard, you're going to be going all willy-nilly, whichever way the wind blow you. You ain't going to have no kind of structure in your life. No kind of structure. So they meeting the same demon in different bodies. It's like you get out of a relationship and then you get in another relationship, but it's literally they doing the same things. They might be saying the same things. They probably got the same mannerisms or something. Listen to me when I tell you that is the same demon in a different body. And you've been dealing with it your whole life. And God been trying to show you what it is that you are dealing with. What he wants to deliver you from. Cause so if you don't seek healing, you're gonna keep repeating that cycle. The enemy gonna keep you stuck in that cycle for the rest of your life, and you just gonna settle for what it is. You can be like, well, I guess this is just my life. No, it ain't your life. That ain't what God got for you. God didn't say, no, you got to settle. You got to settle. You can't have none of this abundance. God didn't tell you that. There was something deep down on the inside of you that is so powerful that you have to start walking in every day. You got to start becoming the person that God created you to be. You got to do it with the intention. You got to become on purpose. You got to do the work on purpose. This the work that nobody don't want to do. This the work that everybody afraid to do. Don't nobody want to face the growing, getting new knowledge, learning. Well, don't nobody want to do that. And when you start really doing the work on yourself, you gonna say, why don't nobody want to do this type of work? Self-development has become my new norm. I'm literally waking up a brand new person every single day, and it feels amazing to be a step closer to the person that God created me to be. It feels amazing to be a step closer to becoming the first millionaire in my family. It feels amazing to be a step closer to reaching my goals. You have to set the standard for your life. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? How do you want your life to look? And start making the necessary adjustments to become that person. Everything else is gonna come. The house, the marriage, the kids, the finances, everything else is gonna come. You gotta start putting in the work. You gotta go within first. Everything starts here. Everything happens spiritually before it happens physically. So your physical reality is a direct representation of what's going on in here, what you got in here. So you got to put in the work to become. Understand that nothing is going to change if you don't choose to go in a different direction. Ain't nothing going to change for you. The enemy want to keep you in a cycle. He love that you in a cycle. He be over there clapping it up when he got you stuck in them toxic relationship. Oh, clapping it up, honey. He happy. He excited. He's so excited. Oh, she ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. I got him now. Understand that God got more for you. He want bigger and better for you. But you got to be able to see that. You got to understand that you deserve that. You deserve bigger and better. You deserve somebody who's going to treat you with the utmost respect. But first, pump your brakes. You got to be okay with it just being you and God. You got to be in a whole isolation season where God is pruning you. He's developing you. He's shaping you. He's molding you. He's showing you people's true colors. He's showing you, hey, I don't want you around them right now. No, you got to work on the way you respond. When you choose to go in the opposite direction, understand that the spiritual warfare is going to come. And if you ain't reading your Bible, if you ain't connecting with God for real, it's going to chew you up and spit you out, and you going to revert back to who you used to be. And the things that God done already opened your eyes to, when you do revert back to who you used to be, you ain't gonna be able to unsee it. You can't unsee that. You can't unknow it. You can't change it. So stop trying to control things outside of you and control what's going on in here. You can't change that toxic man that you in a relationship with, that toxic woman that you in a relationship with. Very narcissistic and manipulative, gaslighting you to make you think you're crazy. You can't change that person. Only God can do that. That's a God-sized problem. It's too big for you. That's not your issue. That's not your problem. Your problem is within. You got the solution to your own problems. You are responsible for yourself, not for somebody else. You're not responsible for trying to change that person. No. You've given the lectures long enough. You've been saying the same thing over and over again to people long enough. You've been giving advice long enough. They ain't heard you. They don't care about what you have to say. They don't care about what it is that you know. They don't care. They don't care that you know that they lying. You know that they cheating on you. Guess what? You still allowing it. So I'm going to keep doing it. That's how they feel. That's how they feel. Exactly how they feel. You're not going to change anything by staying in the toxic situation. You have to get out. You got to seek God in order to get out. God has more for you. So whatever situation you're in right now, you have to put in the work to become. You got to put in the work. Go ahead and start preparing for that thing. When you want to start a business, you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to start that, go ahead and do it right now. Oh, well, I don't have a microphone, I don't have a camera, I don't have the lighting, I don't have blah blah blah. You don't need any of that to start. Go ahead and prepare. Go ahead and put in the work now. Go ahead and make the best of where you are right now. Make the best of your time. God is trying to show you something. He's trying to develop something within you. He's shaping you. He's molding you into the person He created you to be. Journaling, meditating, reading the Word of God, sitting in solitude with God, waking up earlier than your kids wake up just to spend time alone with God, just so He can love on you, just so He can fill your cup before you start your day. He wants to do this for you, but you got to see Him. You got to see God in everything that you do. Matthew 6:33 says to seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Whatever you desire is going to be added to you when you start seeking God. But you got to be okay with it just being you and Him first. You got to be okay with eliminating yourself from the people and things that don't serve you. And I got to stop and get fuel. Be okay with getting away from toxicity. Any kind of time that you have away from toxic people, away from toxic situations, utilize that time and start educating yourself on what it is that you're dealing with, what it is that you're going through. Start educating yourself and getting new knowledge. This is how you're going to raise your level of consciousness, your level of awareness, is by getting new knowledge over and over again. A repetition of new knowledge, not just listening to one video or podcast or audio book one day and then think that that's just going to change your life forever. Like, no, once you start, you got to keep going. What area are you struggling in? Are you in a narcissistic toxic relationship? Are you dealing with financial issues? Are you trying to figure out how to budget your money? Are you having parenting issues? Are you having issues with like being by yourself and self-development? What are you having issues with? Like, look it up. The resources are there. Look it up and start doing the work on your stuff. Start getting the knowledge and putting that work in. If you really want different, you got to go full force, because the force, the opposing force, it's gonna snatch you back to comfort where you came from. If you don't snatch yourself back into a different direction, if you don't forcefully go into a different direction, you gotta forcefully do it. You gotta do it on purpose. Every single day, become the person that God created you to be. Every day, don't stop for nobody. Don't let nobody get you out of character. Don't let nobody make you react out of anger. You giving them the power over you. You giving them control over you. You got control. Self-control is one of the fruits of the Spirit. You got love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. And I think that is Galatians 5:20. The fruits of the Spirit. I think it is. Ask God to send His Holy Spirit to dwell within you. You're going to receive more of the Holy Spirit every single day as God is revealing things about yourself to you that you need to get rid of. When you empty yourself out of something that's not of God, He's going to give you more of his spirit. So every time you empty yourself out, every time you allow him to prune you, every time you get rid of something that's not for you, he gives you more of him. He gives you more of his spirit. And it feels so good. It's so fulfilling. And you just want to tell the entire world about it. But listen to me. Understand that the situation that you're in, where you are right now, you got to start making the best of your time. And forgive me, y'all. My throat has been acting up lately because I was sleeping up under the air while it was cold. But yeah, put in the work and start preparing. Make the best of your time right here where you're at right now. I know you don't want to be there. Instead of complaining, find something that'll move the needle closer to you reaching your goal. Find something to do that will I guess like help you to become the person that God created you to be. Something that's going to move the needle closer. Something that's going to move you an inch closer to becoming the person God created you to be. Put in the work right now. Don't wait until, you get out of this situation.
Please reduce speed.
Don't wait until you get out of that situation, then try to do the work. Like, no, go ahead and prepare. So when you get out of that situation, you're going to be well prepared. You're going to already be confident in what it is that you're doing. You be bold in what you're doing. You're going to have that momentum already in what you're doing, because you prepared while you were in the storm. Okay? Don't wait till you get out of the storm to try to buy some summer clothes. Don't wait till you get out of wintertime to buy summer clothes. No, buy your summer clothes while you're going through winter. Understand that God's trying to show you something. He's trying to open your eyes to more. He's trying to open your eyes to what it is that's actually happening around you. He's trying to open your spiritual eyes. I don't mean your physical eyes. I mean your spiritual eyes. You're there for a reason. Nothing happens by coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens with purpose. Everything happens to teach you a lesson. But what is the lesson? You got to learn the lesson. You got to be open and willing to learn the lesson. If you don't, you just repeat it over and over again. It's kind of like, thank you, Holy Spirit. It's kind of like taking a test. Let's say you're in the 6th grade. You're in the 6th grade and you're taking this test. You're taking the final exam and you fail. Well, now you got to go back through that entire grade again and take that final exam again. Now, if you're aware of what's actually going on, you're aware that you're in a toxic situation, you're aware. It's like you're passing the test, but you keep going back to retake it. Just because you know the curriculum. No, it's time to step into the 7th grade. It's time to step into a new grade and learn something new. We're evolving. We're spiritual beings, and we are called to evolve. We are here to evolve, to go to higher levels, to ascend in the spirit, to spiritually ascend, not to stay the same, not to stay on the same low vibrational level. No, we're called to ascend, to rise to higher vibrations, our higher self. Okay? To awaken to who we truly are, who we were placed on this earth to do, to be, and what we were called to do on this earth. That's what we're called to do. We're called to grow, to evolve, not stay in the same spot. If you stay in the same spot, understand that is a cycle that the enemy has had you in, and he wants to keep you in that because that's all that you know. That's all that you've ever seen in your life. You've never seen somebody spiritually ascend in your family, your friendships, friend groups, whatever. You've never seen somebody actually ascend. And so you don't even know what it looks like. You don't even know what it sounds like. You don't know what's supposed to happen. So you've been in a comfort zone. You've been in familiarity, familiar environments, around familiar people, doing the same things that they doing. But that's how you grew up to become the person that you are right now. The person that God did not create you to be. Because of the people that you were around. You oh, how do I want to, what word do I want to use? It's like you shifted into who they want you to be, right? So now when you try to go do something different, when you try to go be something, my thing going out, because you're doing something different, my thing going out, because you're doing something different, that's when you get all of that, all of the backfire, the back talk. You get all of that when you try to go in a different direction. But I'm here to tell you that when you going in a different direction, you gonna receive that. That's the opposition that I was telling you about. That's the opposition that wants you to come back to comfort. They want you to stay in that box that they put you in. They want you to stay comfortable like them. They don't want you to do anything new, accomplish anything. That's just the enemy working through these people, okay? It's just the enemy working through these people, right? They don't know. They don't. The fact that they don't know that, but you know, when your eyes are open, when you have discernment, when you're allowing God to use you and to speak to you, you know that this is the enemy working through this person to keep me back, to hold me back from my dreams, to stop me from becoming who God created me to be. And since you know, now you can move accordingly. Now you can handle that person accordingly. You can, either keep that person in your life and just, feed them with a long handle spoon, love them from a distance, or just completely remove them out of your life. It's up to you though. Like, you get the choice. We literally have free will. God gives us free will to do what it is that we want. It's just up to us to surrender our free will back to Him and submit to His will for our lives. If you don't do that, then God is like, God is a gentleman. He's a gentle God. He ain't gonna just barge in your life and be like, come on, you gonna come over here on my team. That's how the devil do. He just make his way in your life, and then one day you look up and like, how did you get in my life? I'm telling y'all, like, I'll be a little transparent with y'all. This happened to me. My recent divorce that I just went through, like, it happened to me. I literally looked up. This is while I'm on my transformation journey. I just started my spiritual journey, just started my actual connection with God and getting to know who I am, self-development journey. I look up and I'm like, it's like I had a double take, y'all. Like, how you get in my life? Who let you in? And I had to understand that He crept His way in, and I let Him. I let Him because I didn't know my value. I didn't know my worth. I didn't have boundaries set. I didn't have the bar set on my standards. I didn't have structure with where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. I had an idea, but I didn't set it. And so I allowed somebody in my life to come in and control the narrative for me, not knowing that I already had control and I was gaining even more control, but I allowed somebody in without even knowing it. And it's crazy because I told him, like, listen, I don't want you in my life. I don't want nobody in my life right now. I have healing to do. I have work to do on myself. You don't want to be with me. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be in a relationship. But then there's the coercion, there's the manipulation, there's the gaslighting. And if you don't have a structure for your life, if you don't have structure and boundaries and a standard set for your life, you're going to allow that coercion and manipulation and gaslighting to steer you into a completely different direction that you want to go in. And that's what happened to me. And I don't want that to happen to any of y'all. And even if it has happened, there's a way out. There's a way out, and it's through God. You got to start seeking God so He can show you what it is that you're dealing with. He can show you that I don't want you there. I don't want this person in your life. I have big things for you, but not with this person attached to you. I have big things for you. I need to reveal some things to you. You need to take your eyes off of the problem, and I need you to focus on me. Listen, in this season, it's just you and God. No distractions. No distractions, just you and God. And you got to be willing to 100% surrender. Ain't no lukewarmness. Ain't no 50% with God and 50% with the world. You got to make a choice. Choose ye this day who you will serve. You can't serve both. You can't. And so you got to start making the best of your time. That's how you're going to be successful. That's how you're going to build that YouTube channel. That's how you're going to build your audience. That's how you're going to build a community of like-minded people. That's how you're going to be able to help other women, other men that you're called to. That's how you're going to be able to help other people. It's by moving with purpose, moving with intention. He just sucked everything out of you, the life out of you. That's all he wanted. He got what he wanted, now he gone. Listen to me. Be intentional about your time. Be strategic with your time. Be strict with your time. Don't allow just anybody in your life especially if they're not sent from God, because they're going to come in and they going to control the narrative now. They going to control you. If you ain't got no boundaries set, say, nah, I can't take this phone call right now. They calling you all time of the night, talking to you for 3-4 hours, knowing good and well you got to wake up in the morning and tend to your business. Knowing good and well you got to wake up in the morning and tend to your kids. Take your kids to school. Go to the gym. You got to wake up. You on the phone till 3 a.m. with this person. You got to wake up at 5. Set some boundaries. No, I can't talk to you right now. I got things going on. Put yourself first. Put yourself first. Do the thing that you want to do. Do the thing that fulfills you. Do the thing that God has you on an assignment for. Like, what does God want you to do? You do that. And if you got any extra leisure time, then you can, entertain something else. But if not, no. Where you are right now, you're trying to get out of. You're trying to get out of that situation that you're in right now. You're trying to get out of where you are right now. You're trying to do something different, something better, something bigger. But how can you do that if you're entertaining the wrong things? If you're not putting your energy and time towards what it is that God needs you to? How you gonna build your business if you too concerned about that toxic relationship, that toxic man in your life? How you gonna do that? Okay, so I gotta get fuel right now. I wanted to come on here and just give y'all that quick word. I will be going live more often on my channel, mainly because I do this a lot. This is what I'm doing all day long, driving and thinking. Okay, and I have a lot of words that come to mind. Sometimes I might voice note myself while I'm driving or something like that. But I'm gonna start going live. God is leading me to go live more, to talk to y'all. I know a lot of people need it. But yeah, I definitely love y'all. I love y'all so much. I am building my channel, building a community, and I just want to help. That's it. I just want to help the people that need the help, people that are stuck in situations that they're trying to get out of and don't know how to. And I just want to spread the truth and walk in my truth, walk in my authenticity, and show up for y'all and help y'all out as I'm helping myself. Okay, because listen, when I tell you that your healing is connected to your assignment, I mean that. I watched a video last night of this woman talking about that, and it just connected so many dots for me. But your healing, your breakthrough, your deliverance is connected to your assignment. It's connected to what God has been telling you to do. It's connected to you operating in your gift that God put on the inside of you. But you got to let God do the work on you. Let God prune you. Let him show you what it is that he wants you to be doing, okay? And so that's where your healing is going to come in. When you start helping other people, when you start operating in your gift, when you start walking in purpose, when you start doing things with intention, that's where your healing is going to come in as well. So don't think that your life has to be perfect in order to help steer somebody else in the right direction. Anything that God has helped you to overcome, help somebody else do that thing. And I can talk more about that in another video or on another live. But yes, I appreciate y'all joining this live. I definitely do. And I will go live more often. I promise I'm gonna go live more often on YouTube, because I'm building this channel, and it's been growing at a rapid speed now, and I'm proud of the growth. And yeah, I just want to keep showing up for y'all. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all joining, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.